Hopefully I timed the start right. Apparently Screencastify's just not showing me my countdown timer anymore. Um, so I still haven't played since the last time. That was just too much of a fail. I'm just gonna go straight into doing my evolutions, and I know I've shown this deck before, but our goal is to try to do it in one go through, one playthrough of just knocking these out. So this is an expanded deck. Um, I'm pretty sure I could make another one. I've seen other people make different decks like this. But I like Min just because you keep just evolving and going through it over and over and over again. So that's one of the reasons why I like doing the Min deck. So let's see how this works out. I'm trying to I want to get this done in one go. Unlike the knockout goals, when you're doing evolutions, if they're playing big EXs, VMAXs, and things like that, it's actually to your benefit because you're not really getting those knockouts in. You're just trying to get these evolutions in. So I'm gonna start turn one just because I want to get that first evolution, first time out. I normally run Ditto with the ability. Those Dittos count towards evolving, even though they're not fighting types. I'll show you the Ditto right now. So even though this is a normal type being evolved, it does still count as evolving a fighting type because you're putting a fighting type on there. It's the definition for evolving fighting type is kind of weird. It's either the fighting type is evolving or you're evolving into a fire type. Also like the other Ditto, because the other Ditto looks like they're all prized, but the other Ditto counts as being out on the field. So when you put a Minchow on it, it counts as that Minchow. So they're running knockout, so it's a good thing I went first. They're probably going to knock me out here. I feel Scoop Up Net kind of changed the face of Expanded, mainly because now you can just run all these decks, just boom, 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 all your items in. And it's not fair because people playing fair just can't beat this because it's like, oh, well, you can't trainer lock me turn one. That's impossible. So I'm just going to run all these abilities. Sometimes to troll when I need to do damage with psychic types, what I do is I play Wobbuffet. If you play Wobbuffet, they can't do any of their abilities. So that's interesting. All right, so this guy is just gonna try to just catch her out my Minshao, it looks like, or just destroy me with damage. Okay, so he's gonna try to get all the damage in. Pokemon, you really need to. I don't understand why Pokemon doesn't know how to word their cards correctly. You have eternal formats Pokemon, you need to kind of fix that wording. That should not have said V and GX only. They worded it for standard. They didn't even consider what implications it would have towards expanded, even though they're trying to have eternal formats. So obviously I lost that one. Scoop Up Net is too good in expanded. They can do all kinds of tricks. So you saw I didn't even get a chance to really play. I went second, and still, Scoop Up Net just lets you just drop as many things as you can. They ran Scoop Up, so unfortunately, Donk decks are a thing, and unless Pokemon starts wording their cards correctly, it's not going to fix it. I know that one wouldn't really have benefited for it, but my point is, there needs to be changes towards this idea of eternal formats. That's why Legacy is kind of nice because all those cards were kind of built around the same time. I wish it would have stopped at a certain point, but there's too much power creep. So let's check this out. So we have the Ditto. Ditto start. This is not good if they are of a start. Unfortunately, you used to be safe. The idea of Latios is kind of cute, just being able to attack turn one when nobody else can. But I'm sorry. Can you tell I'm bitter? So let's see what else we got here. All right, so let's do this. I'm just trying to get a daily, man. Stellar Wish. That's one of those cards that it almost feels that they designed a skateboard with Stellar Wish in mind. I like the fact that you can retreat while you're poisoned or paralyzed. You hardly ever see that effect being done. I've used it a few times. People have paralyzed me, and I'm like, oh, well, in that case, I'm just gonna attach this. I've done it with in a theme deck a lot, where they'll paralyze my Charizard, or not theme deck. This was standard back when you could run Charizard in standard. Um, I would just play it and just, oh no, my Charizard's paralyzed. Oh, skateboard and retreat instead of using the skateboard for the draw to, which is what it was meant for. I'm gonna just level ball here to get all of these. So I'm trying to get all as many of these mint shells out. So even if he knocks one of these out, I'll at least be able to evolve these two that I have in my hand. I love twins. Um, I really miss the actual twin. So teammates, you can tell was they wanted twins to come back, but it ran too many. I thought it was a fair card to be honest, but there were too many people abusing it, so I think that's why they made teammates where it's like you can't stay losing for the rest of the game and help yourself set up with these cards. They're like, we want you to have to be getting knocked out every turn. So where twins, you just had to be behind on prizes. It didn't matter if anything got knocked out or not before. And you keep using it. Well, they wanted to, I think Pokemon wanted to balance it out a little bit more. So it's like, we don't want you to just currently be losing. We want you to keep losing a prize card. So technically, you could be ahead with teammates and not do it. So it's kind of interesting. So the snipe is really going to hurt me here. Getting hit by those 5 damages. That's really going to build this. Why do I always play against these decks? I swear, I have done this match before without having to deal with this. Uh, without having to deal with this problem of damage spotting, but I swear every time I'm on camera, it's like, we're going to make you have the match where you have to do this. And I'm just like, great. um, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to get the Ditto. That Ditto's basically just going to be damage fodder here. I'm going to get this. I run like all 4 Clefairy Dolls and 4 Robo Subs in this deck because you just want to keep recycling that damage over and over again. I don't care how much damage I do to it. All I care about the count, and so far the count's at 1. Oh, 2. I forgot I had one on the bench. Let's see what we're doing here. I'm just hoping I can get this down on 1 game because I do want to get the second goal done. I just can't record that video at the moment. Ooh, he hit me for damage. And of course, he's going to put the damage on the Ditto because it doesn't make sense for him not to put the damage on the Ditto. Oh, sweet. I thought he would have just KO'd the Ditto. See, the problem with the Ditto is Ditto has more HP than the Minfu. So the Minfu can go be placed on the Ditto, but as soon if it has like 50, 60, obviously you can't have 70 otherwise be knocked out. It really starts hurting you more at that point because of the fact that you know what? I'm just scooping this. I can't beat the VMAX, so I'm literally scooping. So my count's at 3. Like I said, I wanted it the first game, but when they're doing multiple damage, you can't even Mew or Mr. Mime that out because of the fact that it's placing damage counter. So that's their little way of getting around it. So there wasn't much I could do about that. Even if I ran a Mew on this deck, and I've debated running Mew in this deck, but then there's that. They're placing damage counters. They are not um, they're not attacking. So because it's not considered an attack, a Mew wouldn't even help out there. I could get a little more technical with the deck. This would actually kind of mess them up a little bit. You know what? That's going to be my new change. Next time I get this goal, you'll see I'm going to run a Wobbuffet. I'm going to run four Wobs just to prevent the Donk decks, to prevent other things. That's not helping with the damage sniping. But what's nice about running Wob is if I do want to run Mr. Mime, I'm putting way too much thought into a daily deck, by the way, here. Um, but I've noticed I have overkill with things. A lot of overkill. So I'll probably get rid of the Dittos. So I just have way too many items for things. Too many repeats. Up. I have a feeling they were running a Donk deck because as soon as I put another Pokemon in, they were going to exhaust too many resources there. You know what? I still have time. I was hoping to just knock this video out during lunch, but because of the fact that they're running a Donk deck again and I'm on camera, I'm going to edit this deck on camera. So let's go into my deck manager here and you guys can, we're going to take this Minshell deck apart and just make it a little more friendly towards those Donk decks. So obviously I need to get rid of these Dittos because if I'm going to run Wobs, um, I won't be able to use those abilities anymore. So yes, I know I'm over 60 cards. I'll fix that in a bit. I'll actually get rid of some Robo subs. I don't think I really need as many as I run. I don't really need these rescue scarves, to be honest. I think that oh, I don't run the ordinary rod. Interesting. I think rescue stretcher does do a good enough job doing it though. Um, I am gonna run more scoop up nets. That's gonna let me pick up my Wob. Oh, I'm gonna look poor here, guys, because I have to run non-reverse nets, and I already feel bad about the fact that I'm not running regular nets. Um, I don't really need the Guzmas. Guzma is more of a stalling card, so let's. I actually didn't know this was gonna work out that great with Wob, but if I'm running the scoop up nets, I can de-evolve Pokemon a lot easier. I need those. Definitely need the. Now we're gonna definitely depend on Master Ball and that a lot more. And his retreat cost is 4, so I do kind of either need to have the Wob ready. This is more just so if they start off, you start off Wob, it's gonna help you out. So this is more of a trolling against Wob, against against all of those Donk decks. So with Wob, they do have ways out of it, but they're going to exhaust resources to do it. So what I'm going to do here is let's see if this is enough to stop those Donk decks. Those Donk decks depend way too much on it. Like I said, I'm putting a little too much thought into this. I could mime and stuff too, but I'm not gonna run the mime yet. I just kind of want to protect myself from Donk. And having more Pokemon is not a bad thing. So hopefully this will work out. Scoop up net's also beneficial here because then I can just pick up a Minshao and evolve another Minfu. So we'll see how that goes. See, they're running Psychic, so Wob's not going to be that great. In case you guys are wondering, Wobbuffet's ability prevents other abilities from non-psychic Pokemon. So that's why it's really good against Donk decks. So I'm going to put two here. That's really going to stop the donking for multiple reasons if they are running a Donk deck. They're running Mew because Mew's a psychic type. This obviously isn't going to help out. So, like I mentioned before, they're running a psychic deck, so my Wob's not going to do much against whatever this is. Ooh, they're running Item Lock, which sucks because Wob is not going to prevent that Item Lock at all. So, I really need to use up all my items here, like, as soon as possible. Yeah. This deck is like terrible, ridiculously terrible against Trevenant because Trevenant snipes and prevents item lock, and I need my items for this deck. So I'll at least get the count up by one. Of course, I build a deck to kind of counter stuff, and they're like, I'm gonna play against the worst deck matchup for this. It has sniping and their psychic types. So, and that psychic types affects me in two other ways. And those two ways are one, I'm weak to it. Small thing for it, but yeah, I'm weak to it. So, not going to help me out there a whole lot. Second is I can't prevent their ability. So, yeah, fun. So I'm just gonna attach an energy there and cry. There's not a whole lot I can do here. I'm like at the mercy of my deck right now. All I can do is just thin it out a little bit. Oh, and here he's just gonna spread damage. So I believe counts at 5 for the daily. Let's see what we have here. All right, I am in a terrible spot here. I honestly just I can't beat this deck. Next turn he's gonna get all the knockouts. So I'm scooping this one, guys. Trainer lock is not something that I can really beat. Count at 4. All right. I do like that I did start off with the 2 wobs there. I think that's gonna prevent a lot of the donk decks. Like I said, Trevenant's just a really bad matchup for this fact. And if they're running a donk deck, I just think people just need to run more Wob. Wob's the best counter for donk. Alright, we both mold. I actually get to see what he's running since we both mold. Unfortunately, of course, I don't get anything that's gonna help me. Oh, they might be running. I'm probably gonna get this wrong, but looking at that head, I'm like, are they running Houndoom? I used to run a Houndoom EX deck to mill people. That was fun. Um, I just like Durant better now. They are not running. Of course they're not running that. Why would they? I'm going to get KO'd, guys. Well, that was fun. Because I think they can just welder here into... Oh, what you doing? What you getting? Not much. I've never seen people use this. But I guess it would make sense. Alright, so let's kind of get this party started here. So he attacked. I'm gonna grab my evolution, grab this, and I'm actually not going to evolve. I thought I should, but then looking at the field, now I'm gonna evolve. I'm totally gonna evolve here. So let's do this. Let's grab our energy. If I get dunked, I get dunked. Actually, I can do it this way and evolve it next turn, but I'm just gonna attack here. Actually, that's probably a better play. I actually like that better. I'm just gonna pick this up. Probably a bad idea. I mean, I just put the net in my deck, guys, so this should allow for more pickups. I've been meaning to put it in there. I kind of took advantage of the fact that I knew he couldn't knock me out next turn, and if he did, well, I would have been screwed anyways. I had one Pokemon. So that's going to let me not only evolve the active Minchow, I'm also going to be able to use the net. So I don't know why he's doing that, but I mean, I guess damage is damage. So I'm going to be able to evolve this, pick it up, evolve the other one, so it counts at 3. So I have really been meaning to add Scoop Up Net. Here, it's just usually it's better to attack than to use a Scoop Up Net just to clear damage out. But in this case, since I knew he was going to have a hard time doing that, it's like, well, might as well do it this way. So now I'm going to get some more of these guys out here. I really like this deck for this goal, and it's nice that I'm not playing against the Donk deck right now. Or Trainer Lock. Trainer Lock destroys this deck. Trainer Lock is hands down, like I said, the worst matchup for this deck. Looking back, I probably could have played this Karen and Gatin, the Robo Sub, but for now, what we're gonna do is we're going to get this. I just wanted to get the field going, so he's gonna knock me out. That's a given. Very easy for him to knock me out right now. But the reason why I like doing this, I always like kind of getting the most amount of Pokemon out here. So I like being able to thin out the deck. So that's why Apricorn Maker is huge in this deck. So now let's evolve this guy. Let's net. Go here. Evolve the next one. Go here. And I'm going to grab a Clefairy doll and another Menfu, since apparently the other one's down. So this will prevent me from getting my prize taken out. And I have another Menfu to evolve next turn. Gonna do this. And the beauty of this, like I said, I'm really digging the net. I think it's gonna help get the goal. My count's probably like at 7 by now, so I'm definitely gonna be able to do it. This is what happens when you don't play against Donk decks or your worst matchup. One of these days, guys, I'll be able to get all 10 evolutions in one. I really It really sucks I wasn't able to the get all 10 for the dark ones, because if you would have seen the matchup that got deleted, that was just fun. It was just great being able to do that. So, like, I think I evolved like over 10 Pokemon because Eternus just kind of filled it up. And I just realized I'm like talking about other stuff. But the way I kind of see this is kind of like a little vlog of what I do when I'm playing Pokemon and doing this. All right, so that's nice. So, because he decided to not go for a knockout, what I'm just gonna do here is I'm just gonna totally just evolve these guys. Put this here, and let's get Karen here. Go here. Grab this guy, and for the item, let's grab a stretcher. Grab a stretcher. There's no sense in shuffling into the deck. I might as well just put it into my hand. I run this card so much in my Durant deck because it's just a secret way of me getting another revive. And I'm just going to pass. I'm satisfied with that turn. I think after I evolve this guy, it should be good. I should be okay here. So, what are you doing? What's your goal going to be here? Are you just trying to get more cards in this card pile? Choose one of your opponent's active attacks. Be able to use it for the next turn. So, I'm not going to be able to use one of my active. Well, I don't have an active attack, so that's interesting. You may look at the top card of your deck. You may discard that card. So, this guy's just trying to discard a lot of stuff. I'm assuming he's discarding the fire energies just to be able to crystal them into his hand later. Interesting. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to shuffle this guy back into my deck because next turn he would have knocked it out anyways. Let's go here. Let's Master Ball. So we're going to Master Ball for debating if I want to do it for the Wob. I'm going to do it for the Wob just to prevent him from doing his ability next turn. It's a little mean, but let's get him actually playing the game. I think he's like, fine, I'll play the game because he probably realized the Wob just preventing him from using his ability. He can use his ability now, but the way I figured it, him killing a Wob isn't gonna affect the rest of the game. Alright, cool. Getting those energies on there. Again, I could care less at how much damage he's gonna do. Alright, let's get this going. Get this going. Trainer's Ball. I can't even think of a trainer I would want right now. I'm actually doing pretty well. So just go in here. I guess I could kill Fairy Doll. I would want to grab a teammate, but unfortunately it's an item card, not a trainer card. Boo. Alright, so I'm gonna knock this out here. Let's do this here. I'm pretty sure I got my 10 evolution, guys. At this point, I'm just playing just to play. This is normally how the deck's supposed to play out. If you're playing against Donk, obviously, now we have Wob, so that's going to prevent it from now. So as soon as I just evolve this guy, I'm just going to, please don't Lysander out the Menfu, Mienfu. I don't mind that. You can knock that out. I've played against so many people, guys, that I'll like put the Pokemon that I want them to knock out. And keep in mind, like, it's not going to hurt them to knock out that Pokemon, but they just don't want me to hit my daily. So here we go. Knock that. And I'm just going to scoop it because I believe that's all 10 of my evolutions. So I could keep going, but my lunch break is going to end here in a bit. So I'm just going to claim my victory. Poo poo. But you guys can see easily that game would have been the 10 evolutions. And I'll record the fire knockouts later today. Um, you guys saw that big fail for Legacy. I'm just hoping there's more Legacy players out there today. All right, guys. So I will see you later on tonight to get those fire Pokemon knockouts. Have a good one, guys.